Hi everyone, welcome back to the second part of hair styling with Ornatrix For Maya. In this video I will continue the hairstyle of the previous video and show a few different techniques. For this one I started sculpting a sketch in ZBrush. You don't have to work like this, but for me it's good to have a 3D sketch of what I'm trying to do. For this sketch I use like 3 brushes: Move Brush, Clay Build and Standard Brush. I started defining the shape and then adding some volumes. Nothing too complex, this is just a base mesh. And this is the final result. In the left you can see the final result rendered with Arnold in Maya, and in the right the final base mesh. If you want to see the full video at normal speed, I will post a link later. Now that I have my sketch done, I bring my model into Maya to work the hair piece by piece. First, let's start with the main hair shape. I am going to use this shape as a reference and draw some CV curves on top. Select the object and make it light with this button, and use the CV curve tool to draw some curve. We are going to use those curves later to generate the hair. Here I am trying to follow the flow of the hair in the reference with the curves. This is good when we want our hair to have some particular form or shape. Start adding some curve in the peaks and valleys of the reference mesh, those lines that define better the shape of the hair. Make sure that you start to draw every curve at the root of the hair, because Ornatrix and Maya take that in count. The root of the curve has to be the root of the hair. You don't have to draw so many curves like I'm doing here, only the ones that define better the shape of the hair, but you can add some secondary curve for better definition. Then I use the transformation tools to overlap some curve and add another layer of curves. You don't have to be obsessed with details like I'm doing here. You can leave it here and add some more details using some Ornatrix operators later. The second layer of hair is to have a second volume of hair. This may or may not be necessary depending on what you need. I created a group for every layer of curves to have things organized. The second layer of curves is not grounded to the head. To fix this, make the head a live surface again. Select all the curves and use first CV in the select menu, and then use the scale tool to scale the roots down. Don't spend too much time drawing curves like I did here. A lot of those curves are not necessary. When you are done with all the curves, you can proceed to extract the scalp to use as distribution mesh. The scalp only needs the polygons where you want the hair to grow from. Select all the curves and create a Ornatrix hair system with the Add Hair to Selection button in the Ornatrix shelf. Depending on your needs, you will have to increase the point count in the Guide from Curves node to have smoother guides. Go to the ground strand operator to set the scalp as distribution mesh with the Set Distribution Mesh button and add a Hair from Guides operator to generate the hair. What we have done till now was create some curve, generated guides from those curves, and then generate hair from those guides. You will always have to choose the right distribution and interpolation method for your needs in the Hair from Guides node. In this video I am assuming you know the basic of Ornatrix, but I will explain some basics ideas anyway. Now we can have fun with the other operators adding details to the hair. For more information about the Ornatrix operators, you can see our list of tutorials Ornatrix for Maya 101 and take a look to our documentation. Now, I use the hair physical shader to make a few test renders and see how the hair is looking. You can see there are some overlapping hair here and there, but I'm going to fix that later. For this part, I use the same methods, drawing some curves on the surface and use them to generate guides for the hair. For the bun, I used hair from mesh strips as in the previous video. You can find the link in the description of this video. The idea is very simple. Create some polygon strips and use the hair from mesh strips operator on them. For the braids, I created the mesh with an insert mesh of ZBrush, imported the mesh into Maya and detached an edge to open the cylinders. Now I can use the hair from mesh strips operator to generate hair. However, the braids have to be grounded to the scalp, so a better option is to convert those hair strips into curves and generate hair from those curves. Alright, now that I have a base for all the pieces of the hair, I start adding some details, styling the hair using some operators. The freeze operator is very good to make the hair look more realistic. Combine this operator with the curl operator to achieve some interesting results. I use the freeze operator in all the pieces here. To have a good looking render, you can increase the anti-aliasing samples to 4 in the Arnold render settings and go to extra attributes of the hair and increase the min pixel width value. With higher values here, you will have a smoother hair. Values between 0 and 1 works better for me. Well, I think we can finish here. The rest of the video, it's me using the freeze operator like crazy and tweaking here and there. Besides from that, there's nothing different from the first part of this tutorial. If you have any question, please go to our forums or you can join to our Facebook groups and ask anything there. Well, that's all for this video. Don't forget to try the demo of Ornatrix. Enjoy the rest of the video. My name is Jordanis Figuereo and thanks for watching.